veggies that I'm going to put in this fresh tomato sauce from scratch. Now at the end, you can enhance it with something that is pre-made. So I would say work it backwards. Take your pre-made sauce that you do have. If you love it so much and you just, wanna add something to it, this is the recipe for you. But if you want fresh tomato sauce, like a red sauce made from scratch, you can also do that as well. So you don't have to combine these two things. You can keep them very separate. I'm going to be doing tomatoes. Now, I ordered tomatoes in bulk and I didn't want them to go bad. I didn't want them to spoil. And because I had ordered such a large amount, I decided to freeze them. And this is what they look like after they've been frozen, which is great for making red tomato sauce for pastas or for tacos. You can add this sauce to tacos. It's really, really good. So in other words, all you need to add is the ground beef to this sauce, and now you have a meat sauce, and it's amazing for tacos. Then I also have these frozen baby mixed tomatoes. There are about 3 or 4 different colors in there. Once again, the reason why I froze these is because I had bought them. You can see that I ate as many as I could, and then the rest, I was like, let me freeze them. I don't want them to go bad. This is why I'm making my spaghetti sauce. I have mushrooms. I have 2 cut mushrooms. This one I cut into really small pieces and then I froze it. This one I cut into 4s and then I froze that. So I have 2 different textures inside of my spaghetti sauce. But the majority of it, there's gonna be a lot of veggies in this red sauce. So here I have white onion. You can use any kind of onion. If you have purple onion, that's also delicious. And I have scallions. These freeze really well. If you have not watched my prep video on how I prepared all of these things, go ahead and watch that video. It's very informative. And then I have my mixed peppers, yellow, orange, red, inside of the Ziploc bag, frozen. These are all the veggies that I'm going to be adding. And then I have fresh cilantro. I love cilantro. It smells amazing. We're going to go ahead and get started with the cooking. If there's any veggie here that you don't like, feel free to not add it, or also feel free to add some of your favorite veggies to this. So if there's something that you don't see on here and you want to add it to the sauce, by all means, go ahead and add it. I mean, the more the merrier. So get whatever veggies it is that you want to add. I'm also going to be adding some garlic, which is not out here, but these are my fresh vegetables that I have frozen and kept specifically for my sauces. And this is not great just for spaghetti. This is great for soups, stews. If you're gonna make gumbo, this is a great way to preserve your fruits and vegetables. I'm excited, and yes, let's do this. Now the question is, do I want to do it the long way or the short way? You can make the sauces 2 different ways. You can slow cook it 3 or 4 hours over a stovetop in something like this. That way it doesn't spoil over or burn. You want to do it very, very low heat and continuously keep stirring every 15, 20 minutes. Give it a really good stir, let it simmer another 15 minutes, give it another good stir, and you can do that for a few hours. Or you can do it this way. Put this in the oven, let the tomatoes break down, creating a natural gravy, and then you add all those veggies in there, and it's all gonna start to come together all in one pot. Then you put this in the oven for about 3 or 4 hours, and you let that cook slowly. You know what I mean? So I am going to be using this method because I enjoy knowing that I invested a little bit of time into a slow cooked red spaghetti sauce. But if you are in a little bit of a hurry and you want to do it a little faster, you can do it on this. And if you want it to taste similar to this, then you do it on here for 3 or 4 hours, very, very, very slowly. But you could cook this sauce in about an hour and a half. It's just that it's so much better when it sits longer and longer, and the sauce is even better the next day. Another reason why I love to use this is because number one, you get to leave it and ignore it. Number two, everything starts to come together at the same time. As you can see, it was a pretty good amount of tomatoes. This tomato sauce, after it's done, you can freeze the entire thing and use it a couple days later as well. But as you can see, it will take a good amount of tomatoes to make this sauce happen. And I like to use 2 or 3 kinds, different types of tomatoes. These are frozen. And I like to just kind of fill in the gaps. I'm gonna add a half a cup of mushrooms, half a cup of onions, half a cup of scallions, half a cup of peppers. This is why I love this method. Once you have everything on there, then we can get to the seasoning. As you can see, I just went through all of my veggies. I did use a measuring cup that is a half a cup, and I did all the measurements the same. Also, everything you see in my kitchen, from the oven safe casserole dish to the measuring cups, salt and pepper shaker, the knives, the hand soap and dish soap, the night lights, the cloths, the food tray, everything you see in my kitchen is from Amazon. The link is in the description box. I am an Amazon connoisseur. I've been an Amazon person for so long, but I'm very glad that I was able to get the store together for you guys. It is in the description box. I live my life by Amazon. So I am a minimalist, and I enjoy being able to have everything that I need. I have the things that I actually need. And I live a very simple life. I absolutely love this. I have added everything. I get asked all the time, hey Nina, where did you get the pots and pans? Where did you get the glass dish? By the way, that one comes in 3 different sizes, which is amazing. Another tip and trick, because I'm going to be your digital mom, okay? Another tip and trick is, while you're cooking, empty out your dishwasher. That way you can put the dishes right in the dishwasher as soon as you're done using them. That's going to keep your space clean. It's going to keep it neat. A lot of people get a little flustered when they're cooking because it gets a little messy. But if you empty out the dishwasher, as soon as you're done doing something or using something, just put it where it belongs. If you don't know how to stack a dishwasher, pretend like you're playing the game Tetris. If you don't know what the game Tetris is, go play the game Tetris. That's how you stack up a dishwasher. So I have all of my veggies here, and I like to stack them flat. You can ball them up, but when I notice that if they start to get a little thawed out or any kind of heat gets close to them, I very quickly wrap them up, and I make sure that I put them right back. I like to lay them down like they're books, because it's like a library of vegetables in your freezer. I love that. Here I have some fresh cilantro. Cilantro smells so good. I love cooking. This is also a great recipe for you. If you have kids, go ahead and involve your kids, because they can help with putting the tomatoes in here. There's no fire going on right now or anything that's going to, be a problem for your kids. And then you guys can add, I add a good amount of, just a really good amount, because I love the taste of this. I rinsed this off and I patted it dry with a paper towel, and then I wrap it up and put it in my refrigerator. Now comes the fun part. We get to add our seasonings. Remember, if there's something you don't like, that's okay, just don't add it, or you can substitute it for something else. This is just what I like to add to my sauces. All of my seasonings, or most of my seasonings, you can find it on the Amazon link. It is in the description box, but this is how I store, and I've done this all of my life. This is nothing new. I love to cook, and I also love knowing that I have a mini pantry, so even if you don't have a lot of space, if you organize it very neatly, you can find all the seasonings that you're looking for. You won't get frustrated. You won't wonder, oh my God, where's the seasoning? I can't find it. Everything is brought to the front. In the back of the seasonings, I store my beans or my sazon, things like that. I have another row here, and behind that, I'll put like canned goods, and then I have all of the, what I like to call the things that I reach the least of. Like, I don't really cook with hot stuff, so I will add that to some of my foods, but not all of it. This is what I call my goody, because that is cinnamon and cinnamon sticks, and I always make tea. Maybe we can have a tea time where, you know, maybe I can give you guys my perspective on something or some sort of advice, and we can just have tea and cookies or tea and something. We'll see. So that's my corner there, my sweet corner. And then here I have dates, some sauces, my sweet corner, which is honey, agave, brown sugar, olive oil, coconut oil, dried beans. And in the back, I also have some canned goods. Then I always keep fresh fruits and vegetables here. So let's go ahead and start the seasonings. I'm gonna make it very easy for you so you don't have to be afraid of cooking. Here's all the seasonings that I am going to be putting inside of the sauce. I am going to be using measuring tools, and I'm going to try to do my best to give you a recipe that you can try at home that's gonna be really easy. So let's go ahead and do it. I'm gonna start with the half teaspoon and the cumin. Let's go ahead and turn our oven on, 375. I have started to preheat my oven. So we're doing a half a teaspoon of cumin. This is gonna be like a smoky flavor. So we have cumin, Italian seasoning, of course, and I'm gonna do a half teaspoon. That smells really good. Yes to that. I might have to add a little bit more of you. And if I feel like I gotta tweak it a little bit, I will. This is Larry's seasoned salt. This is actual salt. It's just flavored salt with other things. So with the salt, we're gonna do the smallest one, which is a half of a teaspoon, 2.5 ml. If you have that measurement, just put that there. Because you can always add salt later, okay? You can always add salt later. Montreal steak seasoning. This seasoning is like the go-to. Yes, the link is in the description box. Check out my Amazon store. I love Montreal steak seasoning. I've been saying it forever. This is, yes, whatever this is. We're gonna be doing a teaspoon of that. Now remember, these measurements are for this size, okay? So this is the biggest one. There are 3 sizes that come with this particular casserole. It does come with a cover, a full cover. So if you're going to use these measurements, make sure that you're using the big one, because if you use the small one with less tomatoes, it may taste a little too salty or a little too smoky. So you want to watch out for that. Make sure that you match the size of the casserole to the size of the ingredients that we are adding, to the measurements that we're adding. So this is parsley. I'm gonna do a teaspoon of parsley. And you can add fresh parsley if you have it. Are we cooking together? This is so exciting. We're still cooking together. Oh my God. Because now you can actually follow along. We have the little spoons and everything. Original seasoned blend. This is salt free, so there's no salt in this. I like to give these a little shake. Basically, it's like minced vegetables. And because it's veggies, I'm gonna add a, what is this? Oh wait, no, I'm gonna do the half a teaspoon, sorry. Look at me knowing, half teaspoon. Yes, put that right there. Nice. I love onion powder and garlic powder. So this, you add to your liking. There's no salt in that whatsoever. So if you love garlic, add a little more. If you don't, add a little less. Don't add it at all. So I'm gonna do a teaspoon of garlic. And I'm also going to do a teaspoon of the onion powder. I love onion and garlic. I don't know, it's so good. The only time I won't add this stuff, if you have a date, don't add it, okay? And then the turmeric, I'm gonna add the smallest one, which is this one. And that's a half a teaspoon of turmeric. And I'm going to add a few bay leaves. Yes, I love it. And then we have brown sugar. Now, before I add the brown sugar, give that a quick little shake. What that's gonna do, it's gonna take all the seasoning and it's gonna bring it to the bottom. So give that a quick little shake. Now we're gonna add the last thing, which is sazon. Before we add the sugar, let's get into that. I'm going to let this cook down for at least 2 hours. Reason being is because sugar can burn and you don't want to cook it down. So I add it towards closer to the end. I will cook it for about an hour or so with the sugar in it, and that's gonna make it so amazingly delicious. But I do add that on later on. You can add it in the beginning. You don't have to be afraid to do that. You can, but I choose to wait until it's been in there for at least 2 hours. Another thing that I'm going to show you guys is I take these off the little ring, and it has these little holes up here. So when I put it in the dishwasher, you have two options. You can either just put it at the bottom, but if the bottom is full where you hold the utensils, you can just very easily put it right through the little holes on the top, and it washes out really well. I am going to add a half a cup of water. You don't need a lot of liquid because the tomatoes have a lot of liquid in them. So this is how you want it to look. I'm still gonna add a few more things to this, but stay tuned to find out what those things are. It smells amazing. Here I have my spoon. That's what I'm gonna be using for measurements because I'm gonna be scooping it out. I'm gonna give a little squeeze of ketchup. And then we have a large spoon of garlic, minced garlic. You can also add whole garlic cloves. Like that's okay. I love that. The entire clove. Did I say that right? Tell me in the comment section if I said that right. The entire clove of garlic, just throw it in there, 5 or 6 pieces. When it breaks down, it's so delicious. It's like garlic butter. They get very, very soft. And then I'm gonna go ahead and add about 5 or 6 olives and then a little bit of that vinegar, or I think that's vinegar, I'm not sure. And then gotta go with the Goya recaito and sofrito. I should be making fresh sofrito at home. We're gonna go ahead and add 2 spoons of that, a good nice amount. Yes, let's do it. Absolutely, yes. These are the seasonings. Check out the Amazon description box. You can find a few of these there. Most of my seasonings from that pantry are on my Amazon list, so go ahead and check that out. I cannot wait to taste this. We're gonna go ahead and give that a little scoot down. I'm going to go ahead and cover this and put it in the oven. When you pick it up, make sure that you grab both sides firmly because this is going to be pretty heavy. So my advice is open up the oven first and then bring this over. I have it pre-warming at 375 degrees, and this is going to cook for about 2 hours, very, very slowly. Now we just wait about 2 hours. When the timer goes off, I go ahead and check it. I taste it, see if it needs anything. Then I can add the sugar or touch it up with whatever other seasonings I feel it may need. And then when I have about 20 minutes left of it baking, then I'll boil my pasta so it's already at the same time. So you guys go ahead and stay tuned. We'll be right back in no time. I uncovered the tomatoes and I allowed it to breathe and cook for another hour and a half. So let's go ahead and take a look and see what the progress is. Okay, so I added another 30 minutes and I'm going to add the sugar now. Let's go ahead and get that. Wow, it is beautiful. Yes. I love it. That is absolutely beautiful. It's nice and brown on the top of those large tomatoes. They're beautiful. I am going to add a teaspoon of brown sugar. I'm so excited. Let's go ahead and give this a spin. The tomatoes, because it's slow cooking, it just breaks apart. So I like it when I see those little charred pieces on top. It's gonna give it a smoky feeling. Now there is a lot of liquid in here. You have two choices right now. You can either A, boil down pasta halfway cooked and then add it to this and finish cooking it in the oven, and then all of that moisture will be absorbed. So ziti would be great. Any type of macaroni would be great. So I'm just giving it a very gentle mix. And what I'm doing is making sure that that sugar starts to melt. It smells amazing. I am going to give it a taste to see if I need to add any more salt or anything like that to get the guide. So let's see. Wow, that tastes amazing. That tastes really good. Okay, I'm gonna put it back in the oven for another 30 minutes, uncovered. And then I'm gonna broil it for about 15 minutes to really get it nice and thick. And I want that water to reduce as low as possible so it really starts to look like a thick tomato sauce. Gonna put that on high heat. I don't want my spaghetti to stick, so I like to add a little bit of olive oil. And I'm not going to over salt the water. I'm just gonna add a little bit to help cook the pasta and flavor the pasta just a tiny bit. because that sauce has a lot of flavor. And now we just wait. Cooking a meal at home is always relaxing, peaceful. I am big on investing time into people while we're in the kitchen. I like to cook in groups. So if it was up to me, it would be a setting of, you know, a ton of people. But enjoy a home cooked meal at home. I'm waiting on that. We cannot watch water boil because that could take quite some time. So we shall return. Let's go ahead and add some pasta. The water is boiling. There we go. Yes. I'm gonna boil the pasta for about 7 to 12 minutes. You want to give it a quick stir so that the oil blends with the water and it sticks to the pasta. That way the pasta doesn't stick to each other. So give it a quick. Good. I'm going to reduce some of that water down, and now I'm going to put it to broil for 15 minutes. Okay, pasta looks nice and al dente. This is a Gold Star strainer. It goes over your sink. You don't even have to hold it. I love this. When I go to rinse my fruits and vegetables, I just put that on. Works every single time. Let's go ahead and get rid of the water and make sure that our pasta doesn't stick. And what I like to do is, depending on what kind of pasta I'm making, I'll add either coconut oil or olive oil. But we're gonna keep it more on the Italian side and add a little bit of olive oil. I'm also going to add a tiny bit of parsley. Not a lot. It just makes the pasta look pretty. And a tiny bit of Italian seasoning. Has all those spices in there that make you feel like you're eating from Italy. Here are those. Give that a quick mix. And I do this because I want to prevent the pasta from sticking with each other. And when you add a little bit of oil, keeps them nice and moist and it doesn't stick. I am ready to eat. I am hungry. Sauce looks amazing. Yes. That looks beautiful. Look at that. I could even reduce it a little more if I wanted to, but I want that sauce. That looks amazing. Oh my God. I cannot wait to taste this. You have to put love into it. Take your time. Okay, let's go ahead and give it a taste. Oh my God. Wow. That is really good. Yes. That is beautiful. You know what? I'm gonna just go ahead and add. This is right on top of the spaghetti. It smells so amazing. It smells so good. You have to try this. Now, I'm gonna mix everything, but if you were to take this sauce and add ground beef or ground chicken, ground turkey, you have an instant meat sauce. And you can add about a pound of meat to this, and it's gonna take it nicely. Some people like to lay it on top. I like to give it a coating in it. Oh, yes. How excited am I? My mouth is watering. Okay. Now let's go ahead and add a little bit more sauce on top. Get that bay leaf in there. I am so happy. Ready to eat. Another thing that you can do is you can go ahead and add cheese on top of this red sauce, put it back in the oven for about 15 minutes at 375 degrees. It's going to absorb that red sauce straight into the noodle. The cheese is going to get nice and golden brown, and once you dig into that, it's going to literally melt as you grab it up. It'll be amazing. So as of right now, this is a plant-based spaghetti sauce made from fresh tomatoes. You guys, thank you so much for joining me in this video. I am going to go ahead and sit down, enjoy this meal. And if you want me to try anything else, please leave a comment, like, share, subscribe. Try this recipe at home. Tell me if you liked it, and tell me if you didn't. I want to know either way if you liked it or not. And stay positive and stay strong. Tell the people that you do love, that are in your life, that you do love them. Make sure that you remind them at least once a day. Time is very, very short. So until next time, bye guys.